Yeah, I like it.
I don't see too much that I don't like.
This locker has everything we need to fill the store. I'm going all in on this one.
Storage Wars wasn't supposed to create millionaires, but a decade and a half later, some of its biggest personalities are richer than ever. Along the way, the show transformed ordinary auction hunters into household names, business owners, and unexpected success stories.
I was bidding over here.
Hey, auctioneer has the right to reopen the bid.
Don't listen to Dave. Dave will do anything to undermine me.
Learn how to catch a bid.
And one person who wasn't even a buyer ended up the richest of them all. So, which Storage Wars star built the biggest fortune? And where are the show's most memorable personalities today? Join us as we reveal how rich the cast members of Storage Wars actually are.
This guy's running all over town, calling himself an auctioneer, trying to steal my business, and now he shows up at my auction? I don't think so.
This is America. I can say whatever I want.
You can say what you want, absolutely, but you do not have to discredit me or put me down in any way.
Dan and Laura Dotson. Perhaps the most famous auctioneer in America, Dan Dotson runs the firm American Auctioneers with his wife, Laura Dotson. But it was their appearance on Storage Wars that catapulted them to nationwide fame. Dan Dotson got professionally involved in auctioneering in 1983 and registered his own business firm, American Auctioneers. 3 years later, he met his wife. They soon got married and became business partners. Dan and Laura were first seen in Storage Wars in December of 2010, right at the start of the show. Storage Wars portrayed Dan as the main auctioneer and his wife Laura as his wingman. Occasionally, though, their roles interchange on the show at Laura's request, where she leads the auctions. According to Celebrity Net Worth magazine, Dan and Laura each have a current estimated net worth of $4.5 million. Over time, Dan and Laura became the richest couple on the show, but then they vanished from the 10th season. After their sudden disappearance, fans wondered if they were still part of the show. Dan clarified that they were very much still involved in the show, and the pair had only been contributing and helping backstage a lot. The couple has been inseparable ever since their union in the early 90s. But in 2014, Laura almost lost Dan to a double aneurysm. Thankfully, the CPR she performed on Dan worked and saved his life. The effect of the entire scare and Dan's hospital stay was part of the Storage Wars episode called The Danurism. For now, the couple has been occupied managing their company that runs over 3,000 auctions a year. The duo transformed their business, and today it is a multi-million-dollar enterprise that specializes in auctions of various things, including storage units, estates, business inventories and equipment, fundraisers, appraisals, and legal foreclosure auctions. In 2015, the couple extended their services online with storageauctions.net, which is the only internet portal that perhaps offers free sign-ups, free searches, and no seller or membership fees. The Dotsons' appearance on several seasons of the hit reality show and their ownership of the most successful American auctioneering company, American Auctioneers, has helped them build a grand fortune. That's not all. The couple bought a 60-acre investment property in Kentucky in 2005, and 8 years later, they struck oil on the same land. Now, the land is worth much more than they could ever have imagined. Talk about having a good fate. But no Storage Wars conversation is complete without its most infamous voice. Dave Hester, the mogul.
Come on, get back over here, Dave. Pull your skirt down.
Dump.
Come at me with that dump one more time there.
Dump.
Slap you right in your face.
Do it.
You're not gonna tell me to shut my mouth. It's wide open, Dave.
Fucking mouth. You don't know
What are you
what you're
gonna do?
talking
You
about.
gonna shut it?
Do something.
You gonna shut it for me or what?
Dave Hester. Dave Hester's journey was chaotic, profitable, and at times nearly fatal. At the height of the show's success, he earned serious money, enough to build a $4 million net worth. But he also caused a lot of trouble. He even challenged the network, revealing cast salaries and claiming the show staged locker contents. He was fired, rehired, then hit with a stroke that nearly ended everything. But how did he get to that point? Dave, who is no stranger to off-camera drama, expanded his reputation when he took some shots on his co-stars after an auction. According to TMZ, Dan Dotson lost an offer from Dave during a recording in Palm Springs, and Dave would not stop accusing him of negligence. Somehow, the discussion ended in a fist fight. Dave and Dan exchanged blows before Dan's wife, Laura, plunged on Dave's back. Laura was knocked down to the ground, where a screaming sound was recorded on a cell phone camera.
I know, open your eyes. Open your eyes.
My eyes are open,
Open
Dave.
your eyes.
And if you don't like it, get the out. Really? Yeah. Ready? Really?
That's it. That's it.
Is that the way it works? Stop.
Dave ended up in the hospital to receive a tetanus shot. Then he was fired. But he didn't take that lying low. Dave sued the show for wrongful dismissal charges after complaining to the makers about the show's lack of authenticity. In the original lawsuit, he sued for $750,000. He added that the producers and show executives regularly placed items in lockers the cast members were bidding for. According to Dave, this was done to give vulnerable buyers an edge and increase the drama with some high-profile items during auctions. Months after he filed his official lawsuit, Dave's legal moves took a downward turn when a judge ordered him to pay thousands of dollars to cover legal fees. He was reportedly ordered to pay A&E more than $96,000 in taxes and Original Productions, the company that produces Storage Wars, with an additional charge of $26,000. During a previous ruling, Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Michael Johnson sided with the network, and the lawsuit was found to be a violation of the channel's First Amendment rights. Although Dave literally took Storage Wars to court, he joined forces with the show once again by returning to the show. His return halted fans of the popular reality TV show. Some people claimed they'd stopped watching the show after his arrival. When Dave isn't available on television, he's actually an auction specialist. He previously owned and operated his own delivery shop called Racks to Riches, situated in California. However, the store recently closed its doors as Dave refocused his business efforts. The TV personality is now offering services as an auctioneer. Claiming that Storage Wars has made auctions cool, he added by saying that people are now looking for treasure. So that's a good thing for auctions across America. While Dave Hester's loudness brought him trouble, another cast member was profiting from it.
What is that?
I hope he's not staying.
I just got like throw up in my mouth.
It's a boy named Sue.
How do you do?
Daryl Sheets. Daryl Sheets was a man whose life seemed to be glued to the thrill of the auction and the mystery behind the roll-up door. Known to millions as the Gambler, Daryl became a cultural icon as one of the original and most beloved cast members of the A&E reality series Storage Wars. His passing in 2026 was met with general sadness from his co-stars. Throughout his 67 years on Earth, Daryl was a perfect example of a high-risk, high-reward philosophy, turning the niche world of unpaid locker auctions into a globally recognized spectacle. He started by making his living in the gritty trenches of Southern California's storage facilities. When Storage Wars premiered, Daryl's unfiltered personality and competitive spirit immediately stood out. He appeared in 163 episodes across 15 seasons and often acted as the foil to more calculated bidders. Unlike competitors who relied on detailed inventories, Daryl relied on his gut. His career reached a legendary peak when he purchased a locker for $3,600 that contained a collection of original artwork by Frank Gutierrez, later valued at approximately $300,000. It remains one of the most profitable finds in the history of the series. Behind the scenes, Daryl faced significant physical challenges. In 2016, he underwent a major transformation, losing over 100 pounds through a dedicated partnership with Nutrisystem. However, his most harrowing health crisis came in March 2019, when he suffered a mild heart attack and was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. After life-saving surgery and a long recovery period, Daryl gained a new perspective on life. This brush with mortality eventually led to his decision to scale back his professional activities and focus on his well-being. By the time of his death, Daryl had amassed an estimated net worth of $4 million. This fortune was built not just from reality TV salaries, but from 32 years of identifying high-value antiques and collectibles that others overlooked. In his final years, Daryl retired to Lake Havasu City, Arizona, where he realized a lifelong dream by opening his own antique shop, Havasu Show Me Your Junk. The news of Daryl's death on April 23, 2026, shocked the entertainment world. While the investigation remains ongoing, the loss of Daryl Sheets is felt deeply by fans who saw him as a symbol of the American dream. A man who started with nothing and gambled his way to the top through sheer intuition and hard work. Daryl Sheets lived his life by one simple rule: never be afraid to take a gamble. Then there's the pair who entered the show together, but left separately.
I think they're for like beer fest.
Oktoberfest?
Yeah, that thing.
They're muttons and buttons.
Berlin.
Say it with the accent.
Coke and half.
Coke in half.
I like my Coke and whole.
Brandy Passante and Jared Schultz. At one point, they were the beating heart of Storage Wars. They were scrappy, competitive, fun, and fighting for every profit. Power couple. Brandy Passante and Jared Schultz have raked in a small fortune while bidding on storage units for the A&E reality show. The pair were original cast members on Storage Wars, starting from the very first season. They became so popular with fans and producers alike that they were given their own spin-off, Brandy and Jared, Married to the Job, which followed their lives as they juggled their personal dealings with their work. Sadly, that spin-off lasted for only 8 episodes, and Passante and Schultz decided not to continue for a second season. But just how much money are Brandy Passante and Jared Schultz worth today? According to some media outlets, Brandy's net worth hit the $2 million mark in 2019, while Jared is reportedly also worth approximately $2 million.
Whoa.
What is it?
Teacup. These are pretty unique. I've never seen cups like this.
You think this matches this?
Maybe. They might be worth something. See if I can find somebody to tell us about them.
Of course, Brandy and Jared may not be worth several $1 million today if they hadn't landed their roles on Storage Wars. Their involvement on the beloved A&E show reportedly came after Schultz's aunt encouraged him to get into the storage auction business. In the early days of Storage Wars, the cast was paid $2,000 per episode. As the show grew in popularity, however, those salaries skyrocketed, particularly for the original cast. During their spin-off, it was reported that Brandy earned around $12,000 per episode. At the same time, Jared was earning a total of around $58,000 per month. Towards the end of their stay on the show, they were each earning $15,000 per episode. When the couple was recruited to the show, they had already opened a store in Orange, California. During the pair's stint on the show, they opened a second location in Long Beach. Sadly, since then, both stores have closed down, one in 2014 and one in early 2019.
Brandy, come here. Come here, you. Hey.
What?
Say $1,000.
Why?
Not a million.
Well, you know what? Even if we can't sell them right away, we can use them.
Beyond the show and their antiques stores, much of the couple's success comes from their other business ventures. For instance, Brandy and Jared ran another store called Outlaw Apparel, which sells a range of clothing and accessories. The store opened in 2009, a year before Storage Wars started, with Schultz himself taking on an important role in the design process for much of the brand's clothing. Unfortunately, in 2019, Jared stopped appearing in Brandy's Instagram posts, leading to speculation that the couple may have split. The rumor was later confirmed by Brandy, who told fans in 2020 that she and Jared had split in 2018. Brandy came back stronger. By seasons 15 and 16, she was bidding solo, still confident.
I mean, after 15 years of being with Jared, I just assumed that that ship had sailed.
And proving she didn't need a partner to dominate an auction yard. Off-screen, she focused on raising her 2 kids and, in 2024, revealed a new relationship with real estate worker Clifford Beaver. Her fan base never faded. If anything, going solo made her even more beloved. Jared, on the other hand, drifted off the show and into new ventures, including a bar in Orange County. But after a 2021 domestic violence charge involving Brandy, A&E stopped bringing him back. His social media went quiet. Today, he's still reportedly worth around $2 million. But his chapter in the Storage Wars story is effectively closed. While Storage Wars gave some people what they now have, there's this man who didn't need the show to get rich.
I'm really intrigued to find out what that face thing is inside that sofa unit. First box of the day, sandpaper. Hey now.
Barry Weiss. No matter how one looks at it, Barry was never really a bidder. He was an experience on his own. Popularly known as the Collector, Barry Weiss was one of the core members of the show, with millions in net worth. While it was easier for fans to recognize Barry following his appearance on Storage Wars, very few know about what he did before that. Barry owned a produce company with his brother before being known as the Collector of Antiques. Along with his brother Joey Weiss, the star ran their produce business, Northern Produce, for almost 25 years. The company supplied produce all over Southern California. He then retired and began his journey toward antique collecting. During his stay on the show, there was a list of things that Barry was proud of finding. Among his most impressive finds was a locker where he found $11,625 worth of salon supplies. During Season 4, he stumbled upon another locker that consisted of $2,000 worth of motorcycle parts. On top of being one of the best collectors on the show, Barry also became the spokesperson for Sherwood Valley Casino. In 2019, after recovering from a serious accident, the star also performed several voiceovers. Even the general manager of Sherwood was excited to work with Barry. With his charismatic character, the casino surely felt that there were many opportunities to strengthen the relationship between the two. While many people know that the former Storage Wars star had a terrible accident, fans have been curious to know what happened. It happened in 2019 when Barry crashed into a car that was in a parking lot. He suffered from a number of injuries, including chest and leg trauma, broken bones, and internal injuries. It was also reported that he had to go through several surgeries to recover. He's not a full-time cast member anymore. He doesn't need to be. Barry shows up when he wants, cracks a joke, buys something bizarre, and disappears again. Although there has been tons of research to find out details regarding his ex-wife, very little information has been found. Regardless, the former Storage Wars star is a family man and is the proud father of 2 kids. On top of having his son and daughter, Barry also has a godson. His godson, Jesse James, is the host of the TV show Monster Garage. While it has been quite some time since Barry has been on Storage Wars, fans have been speculating that the star might not have a lot saved up for himself. But to their surprise, the star had an estimated net worth of $10 million. It might seem strange, but Barry had successfully collected a huge sum following his business, Northern Produce. Regardless of only selling groceries, Barry had managed to collect enough money to help him visit all the corners of the world. Not everyone became a multimillionaire, but plenty built steady, comfortable lives. Renee and Casey Nizoda. Renee Nizoda is an Austrian-born German entrepreneur and reality television personality. His accent alone gives that away. His wife, Casey Nizoda, is from San Diego, California. Renee and Casey joined Storage Wars during its 4th season and quickly established themselves as top-tier buyers. Renee, known for his willingness to spend aggressively when he spots potential value, became one of the show's most consistent competitors. Together, they've become fan favorites due to their straightforward approach and impressive finds. Their combined net worth, according to Celebrity Net Worth magazine, is pegged at $3 million. And taken individually, they stand on equal footing at $1.5 million each. Outside of the show, the couple has built a diverse career that includes running a successful thrift business and competing in high-stakes poker tournaments around the world. The fact that they can combine risk-taking instincts with calculated valuations made them a consistent and respected presence in the storage auction world. The couple operates the Bargain Hunters Thrift Store in Poway, California. The large, 7,000-square-foot shop has become both a retail business and a tourist destination for fans of the show. Their operation focuses on flipping items sourced from storage lockers, ranging from everyday goods to rare collectibles. Despite their success, the business has faced setbacks, including multiple burglaries that resulted in the loss of valuable inventory such as rare coins and sports memorabilia. But the richest person in the Storage Wars universe never even touched a locker. Tom Beers. He may not have been a bidder, buyer, or seller on the show, but Tom was the brain behind everything as the producer and creator of Storage Wars. He began his career in television in Los Angeles during the 80s, working on documentary-style programming for Turner Broadcasting and Paramount. He developed a reputation for his skill in producing high-stakes, non-fiction content, contributing to shows like National Geographic Explorer and other science and nature-focused series. Throughout the 90s, Tom honed his skills in producing unscripted programming that leaned into real-world risk, tension, and emotional grit. His work as a supervising producer for The Amazing Race and other cable docuseries set the foundation for his eventual breakout into independent production and influential creators. He is a driving force in transforming dangerous, blue-collar occupations into compelling primetime programming that resonated with broad audiences. As the founder of Original Productions, Tom produced more than 1,400 hours of original programming before selling a majority stake in his company to Fremantle Media for a reported $50 million. 3 years later, he was appointed CEO of Fremantle Media North America, where he oversaw a broader portfolio of entertainment properties. Known for his gravelly narration and cinematic storytelling style, Beers helped redefine the reality television genre and became one of its most prolific and influential creators. Today, he's semi-retired, and with a net worth of $25 million, he's consulting from the sidelines while enjoying the empire he created. And that's the real story. Storage Wars didn't just change the cast's lives. It changed an entire industry. It made storage auctions mainstream. It turned junk into storytelling. It created stars out of everyday hustlers and gave them an unexpected shot at fortune. Over 15 years later, the cast is older, wiser, and richer. Some are still chasing lockers, and some are running businesses. Some are enjoying quiet retirements far from the auction lots, where it all began. Is there a richer cast member than those listed here? And will Storage Wars make more millionaires? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.